Good afternoon again, and we begin this bulletin with a very interesting story of a young man who has decided to walk and then raise money to fund access to water for communities that lack the commodity. And he's been doing this for the past 2 years with 8 months, where he's been walking to raise funds to build water systems for communities that lack water. And this afternoon, I have here in the studio Uldahl Christensen, who has been working to raise money, and he intends to walk. He started a journey from Denmark, and he intends to walk all the way to Tanzania, raising funds in all the countries that he's been to build water systems for communities that lack water. And I have here with me Charlie. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
Yes, I'm also doing well. Why have you chosen to walk all the way through to about 30 countries? And Ghana is about the 17th country you've gotten to now. Why have you embarked on this exercise?
Well, the story started back in 2013. I was volunteering in Tanzania, and I experienced how people were really suffering from the lack of clean water. So to me, this was an opportunity to, make an impact on this planet in my time here. And I saw that there is, in this case, 8,000 people in this community who has to walk almost the whole day to bring home clean water, and the government is doing nothing, but maybe I could do something. So I came up with this idea of walking for water. Basically, the concept is that I walk from Denmark to Tanzania, and this journey itself is enough to get me places like this. So I have the opportunity to tell all you viewers out there that we had this situation, that there is actually people on this planet who don't have access to a very basic commodity, clean water. And if you as a company want to sponsor a water system for this or another community that we are trying to build wells for, I will in turn give you advertisement in programs like this and online.
Just run us through a bit of how you raise funds, for instance, for it. And you've been doing this walking for how long?
I've been on the road now for 2 years and 8 months.
When did you get to Ghana?
2 months ago.
And currently, I hear you have adapted 2 communities.
Yeah.
Where are these communities? These communities that you intend working with to get them water.
I have been visiting a community in Sonitra, close to Amasaman,
okay,
in the outskirts of Accra. And
okay.
then I have been visiting a community in Tagorati. And both these places I have linked up with a local NGO and with a local contractor who have made an invoice how to solve the water problem. In these 2 cases with a borehole and an electric pump. So my job now is to find sponsors who can pay this system. And if I find someone who are interested in that, then to make it a good business for that company.
Previously, I hear you said you've been in Liberia and then Sierra Leone. How can you just run us through a bit of the success story in getting people access to water?
Yeah, initially the idea was just to raise money for this community in Tanzania. But I had been walking for 2 years at that point, and I still didn't have a head sponsor, and I was, it felt kind of depressed not to see any results yet. So I changed my tactics a bit and said, okay, now let me try to make smaller water systems on the way, so we can show people that this works in a minor scale, and maybe it will be easier than to get a sponsor for the big expensive projects in Tanzania. So we found sponsors for a well for a community in Sierra Leone and for a well for a community in Liberia, and we are currently raising for one in Cote d'Ivoire as well. And now we have 2 in Ghana as well, so it's going the right way.
What are the price ranges for these water systems? Because you are raising funds, and definitely you have to pay for these water systems. The one in Amasaman and then the one in Takrady, what are the price ranges?
It's about 20,000 Ghanaian cedi.
For each of them?
Yeah, and this is for a borehole and an electric pump, and then it will be connected to a big water tank.
You've been walking for 2 years, 8 months. Where have you been sleeping?
Well, for all this time, I never paid to sleep.
Okay.
Most of the time, I sleep in the bush. When the sun go down, I go into the bush and find a place where I'm not visible from the road. Then I pitch my hammock and sleep till the next morning.
How do you eat?
I mainly cook my own food. I have a little gas stove, so I buy rice on the market, just like anybody else.
And you continue your walk?
Yeah.
And in Takoradi, for instance, in Takoradi, how did you locate the community you want to help?
Well, actually, they contacted me. It was a girl from a local organization who had seen an interview with me in some Nigerian newspaper or podcast or whatever.
Okay.
So she contacted me and told me that I can see you are now in Ghana and we have this water issue here. Would you like to come and look at it?
The countries you've run through, you've walked through, how acute is the water issues in these countries? Because I see you've done about 17 countries so far. Ghana is the 17th country you are visiting.
Well, I think here on the West Coast generally it's quite fruitful. I know that especially in the north of the countries there is a need, and we can see also down here. I mean, Sunitra and Takoradi is to the coast, but there is still communities in need of water. So the need is there. But I have not seen anything in this part of Africa that is even close to what I've seen in Tanzania, for example, where people have to walk 19 kilometers to nearest water source. I mean, that's something else.
How long is it going to take you to walk again from, which is the next country you're going to?
Next will be Togo.
And you are walking to Togo?
Yeah.
When are you leaving?
I'm planning to leave Accra tomorrow.
Walking?
Yeah, and then it will take a week or so to go to Lome.
Are you not afraid? Are you not afraid? I mean,
I'm not afraid.
Sleep in the bush and.
No, I don't feel. Sometimes, you know, you can have some experiences where you get more aware. But generally, I have so many more good experiences. I meet so many good people, so much hospitality, that the few unlucky incidents, they drown in all the goodness.
How long is it going to take you to walk from Togo to Tanzania? How long do you estimate?
Well, it's not so much the walking time that is actually dragging out. It's more the time that I spent making office work in a capital, for example. Because beside raising money for the water projects, visiting the villages, going to the media and stuff, all this is volunteer for me. So I also have to somehow earn money from my own income, and to do that I write some articles and stuff like that. So it all takes time, but I think it will take maybe about 2 years before I'm finished.
Thank you for joining us on Metro TV.
Thanks for letting me.
Yes, and if you're watching us live here from our studios and you want to get in touch with Uldahl Christensen, you can come over to Metro TV and then make your donations here, as he organizes monies to put up 2 water projects, one near a village at Amasaman and then 1 orphanage also in Takoradi.